Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And this is now going to be the kind of summer update. But as you can see out there, it's very grey and it's going to start raining soon. You might also have noticed an absence right there, and that's because I only have 5 weeks to go now until the summer show, and I've got to sort of decide what I've got to finish off quickly in order to get some new models to exhibit. And I have decided that it is time to finally finish off the airship, which is more or less done. I mean, it just requires some detailing and some rigging and then the painting, and then it's kind of finished, because you know, it's looking good as a piece of sculpture, I think. But I think it's there. It's got all the sails in, the metallic sails. It's got the engine and the stabilizers in, and it's got the main sort of deck. It's all there. It just needs finishing off, and I've got the time now to finish this off and take it, and I think it's going to be a good piece to take. So that, together with the Pillar of Persuasion, will be the two centerpieces, I think, of the exhibition. And since I have got the time, this shouldn't take too long to finish. About, you know, a few sessions, and then it'll be done if I put the time in. So I'm going to be doing this particular model, finishing off. I've got some detailing over there which I'm going to put in. This is going to be a pirate ship, so I have actual fact ordered on eBay some more kind of Warhammer 4000 for 40,000 Warhammer 40,000 pieces, which will fit and work very nicely, I think, with the ship, to give it some guns and perhaps even some figures as well. Although it's not a Warhammer 40,000 model, but the model will look nice with those additions. And then hopefully I'll be working in tandem to finish off my Nubian Starfire, which again just requires some filling and some painting, not too much now, so that can be done as well within the next 5 weeks. That should be good. I should get that finished, and I will probably just have it in flight. I don't think I've got time to work out the undercarriage unless I'm lucky, but I think that will be what I'm going to be doing. And then hopefully, again, one last thing to finish off will be my speeder, which again is more or less there, but this requires quite a lot of work. So I might be approaching the wire on this one, but we'll see. If I can get it finished, I will try to get that finished as well. Right, quite a lot of work to do, but I think I can get it under the wire. But finally, I really want to get this finished, because, you know, it's been here for about 2.5 to 3 years, and it deserves to be finished off. So that's the next project, the next bit of what I'm going to be doing. Right, onward and upward. Let's get this thing on the road. So as you can see, I'm finally getting to the end of this mammoth project, which has taken me almost, I think, 3 years now. But I have added quite a lot more to it. I have been fabricating for the last 2 days in a fever, so to speak, of making, so I haven't really had a chance to really record any of it, because yeah, I just wanted to go on and do it. So I'm going to have to show you what I've been doing, starting from the back. As you can see, I've been adding more details to the back. That's the back bit. So was it the prow of the ship, or is it the stern of the ship? It's the stern of the ship, isn't it? And I haven't attached the top bit, because that needs to be painted, because the underneath needs to be painted. So that's still free at the moment. But I've got that bit there. Then I've added all these guns. This is the firepower of the pirate ship, which I'm actually calling the Sky Dragon, I think, or the Cloud Dragon, one of the two. I think Sky Dragon is quite nice. There's the guns there. I've changed around a few little bits to it. These are 2 grappling arms now, and they sort of like they grapple. They haul in the treasure and stuff like that, and they cause mayhem. And then over to the prow of the ship, and I've added some more sails, mechanical sails to there, and more detailing inside the ship, and we pull away and you can see the general state of affairs from that side. I'll turn it around and you can have a look at the other side as well. There's the detailing of that portion of the mechanical of the engine apparatus. I'm going to have to do more sort of hanging cabling, which I think have the hanging cabling looks quite good. They've got some guns in this area here, so which is quite heavily armed. This sky ship. Let's turn it around and you can see it from another angle. There's another angle of it. I'll try to light it a bit so you can see inside. Obviously, we've got to get to the painting stage in a minute, and that's going to be quite daunting because I'm not quite sure the colour scheme as yet. Although I want it to be dirted and rusted, as is my want, to make these things look decrepit and as if it's been thrown together. But you know, because it works in the atmosphere of a planet rather than in space, obviously. So it's going to be lots of rust on it, lots of dirt and so on, because it's a skyship prowling the clouds. We'll turn it around again. So there's the other side. As you can see, lots of work. The work I've got to do on it now is basically the rigging. I want to put rigging into it, which will basically be just cables coming in across the various towers of sails there. So I want to do some rigging on it to make it look a bit more like a ship. All of this, I mean, obviously it's not a ship, is it? But it has lots of ship motifs to it, which I like. And there's the guns on the other side as well. So yeah, I think we've got to the stage now where we've got most of the detailing done. In fact, practically all of it really. And I'm happy with the profile. I wanted to make sure that it had the right amount of sails to it, and the sails look mechanical rather than canvas-like. I wanted it to look mechanical-like and iron-like, like an iron junk, so to speak. Has motifs of a pirate ship, but also of a Japanese junk, and also, of course, the skiffs from Star Wars. So you know, there's no getting away from those kind of influences and motifs on it. But on the whole, I think that looks, yeah, that's coming along nicely. There's the other side of the engine at the back. I want to make the engines quite grimy, and there's some blank spaces there which I think I want to do something with. And I still want to have a look at these these engines here, this one here, because these on both sides, these are the kind of downward facing kind of like hover jets, and I want to do something a little bit more with those. But there's the guns again, got more guns, and that's it basically. Okay, so yeah, so that's the airship. I think we're kind of like 90% finished. I really wanted to make a real go of this and get this damn thing done, because it's been hanging around my studio for the good part of 3 years, and every time I came up it sort of said, "Mag, don't you finish me, finish me, finish me." Well, yeah, I finally got around to actually finishing the thing, so it will be finished in the next few well, the next week or two, and then that along with the Pillar of Persuasion, my previous starship, will be the centerpiece of the summer show, I think. So yeah, okay, here we go. That's onward and upward. Let's continue this build and let's get this thing done. So more work on the Storm Dragon, as I'm calling it, and you'll see that I've included some outriggers now on the ship. And it's not over yet. I thought I'd finished really all the fabrication, but I haven't. The reason I haven't is I kept on looking at the ship and realizing that it was just not looking right. And what was not looking right was this area down here. It's too thin. It's too shallow. It doesn't look ship-like. That looks ship-like there, and this looks ship-like up here. And in fact, up here, just to show you, I'm also going to add to this up here, because I've got the underneath of an old X-Wing toy, and that is going to go, when I've actually put it in, is going to go up here, and that merges the whole of this bit in together, you see. Oh, it's difficult to hold it with one hand, but you see how the whole thing will merge together, forming a straight line, a straight through line, and will make the prow look a lot better. So I'm going to be working on that up there, but getting back down to here, what I'm going to do, I like to make things difficult for myself, don't I? I found these two bits. They're from an old AT-AT toy, and I'm going to attempt to attach them underneath. Now, because I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to cut notches in the bottom of the AT-AT toy to accommodate the already existing perspex stands. But if I cut it properly, I can then shove that into place there, which will give the bottom of the ship a lot more bulkier look and make it look a lot more ship-like. Anyway, you'll get the idea as I progress through with it. Hopefully this is going to work. I can only hope it's going to work. If it doesn't, I'll just have to cut my losses and go with what I've got. But I think I can work through this. After all, it's never going to come off the stand, so it doesn't matter if I cheat it slightly by, you know, attaching it to the stand and the ship at the same time. But that's the idea. So yeah, we still haven't finished, have we? But as I say, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon, and if I want this to look good, which I'm hoping it's going to look good, I'm hoping it's going to be one of my better models, then yeah, I'm taking my time to get it right. You can see that I've also done some work on the engines as well, developing the undercarriage a bit more. So yeah, it's I thought it was finished, but it isn't finished. And you know, you've got to go with your guts. If you think you can improve it, then improve it. That's the whole point. And with those outriggers now on either side, that does give it a much better profile. Right, onward and upward. Let's continue. Right, well, I bought it downstairs because, to be honest, I've got another couple of days off work, and it happens to be the hottest days in June, and I simply can't work upstairs in the loft, so I bought it downstairs to work down in the it's slightly cooler down here, and I brought it down so you can see a little bit more of what I've been doing. As I said before, I was going to be putting more work into the structure. So I've worked on the prow, as you can see, and I've worked on the bottom. I'm really happy that the bottom has worked out well. That's really filled out the bottom more and given it more substance. And I've added a bit more on the sail there, and on the back I'll turn that around slightly so you can see what I've done on the back. That's the back, as you can see, so that looks quite nice. Obviously I haven't put any primer on it yet, but I will. Now the engines are looking much better than they were, and as I say, yeah, so the whole thing is now looking nice, and I'm going to just prime it, fill in the details around the prow, because obviously there's some gaps there, and fill it in, put some more, then work on the then I'm going to work on the rigging, and then I think we're kind of finished, because well, the show's in now 2.5 weeks time, and I'm running out of time, and I really want to get this finished for the show. So I've got another few days to finish this on. Now the painting itself won't take that long, because I've decided already how I'm going to do it. Stipple it with blue, and then dry brush the rest of it as a wash, and putting in the rust and stuff like that. So it shouldn't take too long with the stippling. And if I work outside, because it's going to be about 40 degrees apparently according to the weather forecast, but I should actually make it. So there you go, that's more or less done, and not much detail to add down, not much more greeblies to add, just filling in those gaps. Obviously I've got the gaps in here to finish in. Yeah, those gaps have got to be done, but you know, we'll do them tomorrow. I can't do any more today. It's too hot. It's just too hot. It's going to approach 40 degrees, which is ridiculous. Yeah, but anyway, there you go. Okay, so there are. We're practically done on the, and I'm calling it, by the way, the Storm Dragon. Storm Dragon, I think, sums up what it looks like, and I'm really pleased with this. This is looking really like a nice build. Right, onward and upward. We're practically there now. Okay, so we're back down in the conservatory because it's far too hot at the moment to do anything upstairs. With the temperature up in the loft around approaching 45 degrees, it'd be horrendous. So I brought everything down. Anyway, I have finished the fabrication of the general parts. I'm now going to start working on the rigging, which you can see here. I started doing the rigging up. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's like this. Well, I mean, I do know how I'm going to do it. This is electrical wire. I mean, what I mean is I don't know where it's going to come from. I'll just have to, play it by ear, and anything that looks interesting, I'll just make it look interesting. It might not be accurate, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, this is how it looks at the moment. As I say, the lighting's going a bit, so when we get to doing the actual painting, I'll make it better. You'll be able to see it a lot more clearly because I'll be able to show you the lighting. But that's what it looks like at the moment. I say most of it's all practically done. I just need to work a little bit more on some of the details on some of the sails, putting in a few more panels. I think paneling, which would be helpful and work well. But that's that side, and we'll just bring it around. It's nice working actually down here in the lounge in the conservatory because I've got the height and I can get round the ship a lot better. So there you are. That's This looks what it's looking like. It's all been primed now, and I think that's looking. Yeah, it's looking nice. It's looking good. It's working, and all the bits and pieces are there. I particularly like the engine housings and how the engine is looking. That's what it looks like at the back. So yeah, I think we're getting there, and it's and a few more days now, and finishing off with the rigging. Hopefully I can work in this heat. It's not so bad when I've got the fan on. And yeah, there you go. So the Storm Dragon is slowly coming to life now. Obviously I've covered up the perspex area when I'm doing the painting, so I don't get that done, and then the last thing will be painting the bottom. I'm just hoping that I can get it in the car. I'm hoping I've measured it properly and I can get it in the car. Otherwise there's going to be problems getting it to the show. Right, anyway, let's continue, and we're on the home stretch now, I think. Okay, so the rigging is done, and you can see because the light is better down. It's in the morning, and it's not so hot in the morning. The rigging is now done, and to a certain extent, I could do a bit more, but I want to get on with the painting. So this gives you the general idea. I might put a little bit more rigging if I can work out where it might go, but I think in terms of looking generally, authentic, we're okay. So you can see also, because in this light, that all the painting, all the primer is now in position, and now we get down to the painting, which is going to take some days. First thing we're going to do is stipple it with blue, and then that will bring out the like a sort of an ancient bluish paint job on it, plus the sails, and plus some other colours as well. I want to it won't be just blue, it'll be some other colours as well to give it a kind of ragtag look. The red primer will show through. You'll get more of an idea when I've done it, and you'll see the primer will show through to give an idea of large rust patches, and then we can start rusting it down and weathering it down, just like I did with the Pillar of Persuasion, basically doing lots of washes and dry brushing across it. So that's the general idea. But the ship itself, the Storm Dragon, I'm not going to put any more on it now. The construction, the actual fabrication of it is done, and I'm happy with what it looks like. Yeah, it's looking quite good. I do think I'm okay putting it into the car. I'll just turn it around and you can see the other side. There's the other side. and I think that works very nicely. Yeah, it's going to look, once the painting is on, and it says I want it to look ancient and rusted, and but still floating across the skies of this giant planet. And I'll give you more details about the planet when it's finished. But yeah, I think that's come along really nicely. Still haven't put this down yet, because I want to paint the inside and possibly put some cargo inside of it. So yeah, there's some cargo to go into the back of it, but put that down for the moment. But yeah, that's the ship as it is. I might actually never glue that down, because then it can be converted. It can be my convertible. I can get into that that area there. Anyway, there you are. That's what it looks like at the moment. So onward and upward. Let's continue. Final update before I start painting, just to sort of show you that in order to balance it better, I've added another sail here on this side. I think now that balances the sails on this side and on that side, and the thing looks a lot more ship-like, or more ship-like than it did before, so to speak. So yeah, that's the final update. Right, no more adding now. I haven't got time. I've got to start painting, and I've got 2 weeks left, but I'm working during the 2 weeks, so I'll have to be intermittent in the evenings, and it's still bloody hot out here, so I've had it for the day. I can't continue in this heat, but the painting will have to start in earnest in the next couple of days. But I think I'll be able to do it. Because it's just stippling and washing and weathering, which if I do a couple of hours a day, I should be able to do it in the evenings. And I'd have to be in the evenings because that's when it's cooler. Anyway, that's my problem, not yours. Right, just to say that's the final update on the fabrication, and yeah, I think that's looking all right. Right, so onward and upward now. Definitely on with the painting. So this is some of the photographic reference that I'm using to for the painting, and as you can see, this is basically an old tractor, and I'm using this as a photographic reference to get the painting right. You see all that blue and the rust, which I think is going to work like that. It's a bit difficult to show you there, but you can get the idea of the kind of rust and gunge that I want to try and try out. And let me see, get a better view of that one. Now this is quite a good one. So this kind of color scheme with the blue and the rust poking through, which is kind of stippled on. So I think I can achieve that quite well. So look, and on this one, you've got some green at the top as well, which is obviously some kind of mould. So I think I will try to use some of that as well into the color scheme. Anyway, that's the idea. So let's see if I can. It's going to, I've got to trust the process and see if I can get that to work. So we started the process. So this is just a quick update. I'm not going to spend too much time on this particular update, because you can see what I'm doing. It's basically getting, as I said, getting the stippling and getting the first wash of blue onto it. So you can see what I'm trying to do. Stipple the blue on so that a lot of the rust shows through as well, and then adding layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. So it's all one colour at the moment, except some of it's coming out a little bit lighter, and I like that lighter look. So there'll be darker blues and lighter blues, and then going into greens, and then I'm looking also at changing the colour for the sails a bit, and then there's going to be lots of chrome and other things on it as well. It's going to take some time. I'm looking at least a week and a half, 2 weeks to get this right. This is just the very beginning. So I won't update you all the time on everything that I'm doing. This is just to show you the first initial stage, and then I'll update you a little bit later on several stages into it, see what it's looking, so you can see what it's looking like. But yeah, that's the idea. And as I say, trust the process. It will work. I think this is going to work. especially yeah, if I can get the rust. I mean, I'm going to go out and buy some paint rust, rust effects, not just rely solely on the rust primer, the red primer. So yeah, it's got to look grungy, dripping, and got to have I'll have different kinds of rust on it, and grease and dust and stuff like that. I want it to look a really old rusted Hulk, more rust than paint, so to speak. See if it's going to work. Anyway, there you go. We've begun, and let's see how we can continue. And after 4 years of work, off and on, there she is, the Storm Dragon, finally finished and painted. And as you can see, I have put layer upon layer upon layer of paint texture onto it to give it the impression that it's a rusted Hulk. I wanted to use the blue, as I said before, and degrade it with rust and gunge as much as I possibly could, while still keeping the impression that the blue was still there, the paint was still there. So this was an ancient paint job, so to speak, which had been rusted and destroyed over decades of use. And I think you can still see the rust, the blue sort of shining through the rust and the gunge. So I think that's kind of worked very well. So there you are. We're going to go on a little journey just so you can see the finished result. And it's taken me about 2 weeks basically to create this effect of all of the rust and the texture and the textures of the paint and so on, giving it a really old feel to it. I took the inspiration from an old rusting barge that I saw in a local canal, which is near where we live, and the sort of the decades of grime and grease that are evident on the hull itself, and this is what I came up with after taking quite a lot of photographs, which I showed you before as photographic reference on how to produce the weathering effects. The weathering effects has taken quite a long time to sort out, getting the logical consistency of the effects, where gravity would make the rust fall, where grime and grease would sort of fall across the hull itself. But I think all in all that's come very nicely. You'll also see that I've added a few bits and pieces, as is my wont. I've increased the size of the outriggers there to give it more bulk and more substance. So that's one side of it, and I'll turn the ship around and you can see the other side. We're just going closer. You can see down there. I'm filming this late in the evening, so the light isn't particularly brilliant, but it gives you shows you what I've come up with. I particularly like the danger chevrons, which I've been able to do. That was done with masking tape and weathered down when I did them. So we'll just turn the ship around and you can see the other side. There's the other side of the ship. It's difficult to really say which side is better. I think they're both okay. Both sides show a nice consistency of colour and texture. There's the anti-gravity engines down there, and along the top. And as I say, I have made the outriggers larger, and I think I've got the consistency of the paint and the weathering just about right. I think so anyway. I can always go back on it at a later date, but I've run out of time now because next week is the summer show at Small Spaces, and I intend to take this model to the Small Spaces show, and I have measured it several times and it does just fit into the car. So with a bit of padding and a few pillows and everything else, I should get it to the exhibition with not too much difficulty. And then I'll have, of course, the Pillar of Persuasion Starship, which I did earlier this year, to also go along and be part of the exhibition as well. And that's the end. I was going to this has still not been glued down, because I can take it out and put it like I'm going to do now. That's for makes of ease of transport. I was going to put some luggage in there, but I haven't had time, and I'm leaving it empty at the moment. But anyway, that's able for ease of transport. I can take this off and transport it separately, which I put down there at the moment, and looks okay without it on actually, but it still works as it is. So there we are, guys. This is my Storm Dragon anti-gravity ship, inspired by the work of well, several artists basically that I've seen on science fiction magazines and books, but I've always wanted to do a anti-gravity ship myself, and this is my interpretation of a large pirate anti-gravity vessel floating in the skies of super Earth, some 600 light years from Earth, and the pirates and the vessels and the ships that prowl those skies of that strange planet. But there you are. Anyway, there you go. That's the ship. Happy with that. After a whole 4 years of getting it ready, it's finally finished. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this post. And we're now coming into the late summer, so more work to do, but the heat has finally dissipated, so I can actually get on and do some work back up into the loft again. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're near small spaces in the next week or two, do come and say hello, give us a shout, and I look forward to seeing you there. And until the next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye now. Bye for now.